Hey there, I'm MR.SEVERN and welcome back to another video. And today what I would like to share is the studying I have done on LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, on the save file. And the save files are the same for both PC and Mac, so if you're on either of those systems and you've got this game, this guide will work for you. And this is not um I mean like you could do console editing the same way, but those files are encrypted and haven't worked out how to decrypt any of that stuff, and I don't even have a console that runs that game. Um yeah, so let's get right into it. So I've made a GitHub repo, which I'll link this in the description. And then, yeah, bit of a description, which is in the Word doc. And then just click on releases and then download. Then click on assets for the latest version and just download the zip file. Um, the zip folder, which since I've made it, I've already got it. So, and this time you will see canisters in the zip folder. You just won't see it on the main code repo, but it is in the zip folder that you can download. So yeah, got all this. So yeah, I've made a dedicated file of save files, and this is just copies I made during my playthrough of Lego Star Wars 2 that I did recently on YouTube. And yeah, there is a gap, and yeah, that is because I forgot to copy the save file after completing Super Story in episode 4, and yeah, I couldn't really figure out how to like reverse engineer it. I'll get into that later. So yeah, you've got a bunch of save files all the way from an empty save file to a 100% complete save file. So yeah, and then yeah, this is same as last time. I mean, although I've probably got this a little bit different. Yeah, and then custom character, and that's just the notes I made during that. Then I translated it into, on the hex pad and stuff. Okay, now on PC, the save file is stored in C:/users, your Windows username, app data / roaming. Or you could just get to that folder by typing percent app data percent, and then you're in that folder. And then it's in a folder called LucasArts. Um, um, by default, you won't see this shortcut icon, but the reason I have it is because it's a symbolic link that writes to a custom directory I've made on my hard drive. And the idea is like, I can easily change computers, change things around, and I don't have to worry about losing it, sort of thing. So yeah, in there you'll find all the different games, but yeah, we're looking at this one. So yeah, and then you'll find how many save slots you've got. This is my full game one. This is my story video and canister video, and this is just what I've been working on, exploring all the different values and stuff. So yeah, and you can open this in your hex editor of choice, and my hex editor of choice is AM AEST, which I've got a link in the description for uh, that, as well as the GitHub repo, as well as a checksum updater program, which is going to be important later. You'll know if you've seen my previous video, which if you did miss my previous video on Lego Star Wars, the video game save file editing, I'll leave a link in the description to that so you can go see that. Because I cover all like the basic things in there you would need to know on save file editing. Um, yeah, and I'm only going to briefly touch on it in this video because I already explained it in that video on that stuff. So yeah, this is the hex pad, and this is basically a cheat sheet for like what everything is and stuff. And then you can also hover over and see what it is. And yeah, but I mean, if you don't exactly understand the compact detail I put there, I do have the Word document for that, and there's also a PDF for that. There's also this, which I will touch on later and when I go through the Word document. So yeah, I'm gonna open up the Word document, and yeah, oh yeah, and I've got um um a title page, and I have updated the Lego Star Wars the video game with a similar page as well, and also some minor um, details that I've fixed up that I notice, some minor errors I notice when putting this one together since I was building on Lego Star Wars the video game save file guide save file editing guide that I was working on. Yeah, and this content is a lot bigger because there's a lot more in this. So yeah, yeah, I've also changed the introduction a bit in the other one as well. So yeah, this guide it aims to explain how to modify a save file for Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy on PC. This also works on Mac save files, and go into detail about how the game stores progression. The game writes to the save file in little Indian format, which in my previous video, I mentioned it was in machine language. That was wrong. Because of my understanding of binary and how it was relating sort of thing, I thought it was machine language, but it's little Indian format. And yeah, there'll be a guide on binary and hex code, which I'll touch a little bit on hex code because I have made an update to that. But yeah, with the main binary and hex code, like I've gone through that in the previous video, so go check that out if you need to understand that. This is not intended for cheaters. It's best to have completed the game to know how these values translate in game. And then, I mentioned the location before for PC save file, and then this is where it is if you're on a Mac. Yeah, you can have up to 6 save files, and the folder names ranges from save game 0 to save game 5, as required for how many save files exist. Um, in each respective folder contains 2 files, code.bin and lsw.bin. Code.bin displays the game completion percentage on the save file load screen, which most of the time is correct, unless it hasn't been updated after modifying the save file. lsw.bin is the main save file where all the data is stored. And then this is binary code, which, I mean, I touched on in my previous video, so it's there if you need it, and you can also check out my previous video on me explaining it. Yeah, I've already explained hex code in the editing. I've added little Indian in, and yeah, I basically explained what it is. Little Indian byte order stores values with more than 1 byte in the reverse order. Let's take decimal 10,000 and its hexadecimal value, hexadecimal 2710, where the first byte is hexadecimal 27 and the second byte is hexadecimal 10. In Little Indian, the bytes are stored least significant first. So decimal 10,000 would appear as hexadecimal 1020 in Little Indian. So save files, and yeah, the checksum is stored in a 4-byte value from this address range in Little Indian format. it is calculated by adding all the values in the save file in 4-byte chunks. The checksum value must match the calculated value, otherwise the load is corrupted. When it's too hard to add or take away any changes made, use the checksum updater program from PolyPancake at this GitHub repo to do it for you. Here is this is the game configuration, and it's only really sound and music in this one because I didn't see any autosave in this one. And then, oh, so I'll have to update the repo. That's probably an element left over. I'll make sure to update the repo before this video gets out. So just make sure to download the latest version, whatever it is, at the time you're watching. Yeah, the stud value is 4-byte value, and it uses little endian. And yeah, this is an example how you would add 1,000 studs, 100,000 studs into the game. And the maximum stud value is 4 billion studs in little endian, and that's the little endian hexadecimal value. While it is possible to set a stud value higher than 4 billion studs, once you collect a stud in the game, the counter will fall back to 4 billion and won't let you go past. And gold bricks in the save file, it stores a count at this address with the maximum in-game value of 63, which is decimal for 99, which in decimal, that's 99. And then you can buy 8 gold bricks from the shop, and this is the values for all 8 gold bricks. And then the timer that sits outside the shop is stored in milliseconds in a 4-byte value in that address. Game completion can be found in code.bin, and it can also be found in in a 2-byte value in little endian at this address. And then the game each hexadecimal increment corresponds to an increase of 0.257 completion, but it will round it. I'm pretty sure it will round it up, so I think you'll only see to the first decimal place. And then this is the CSV file, which I made sure that it's not hard links to how I've got it stored. It will hard link it to the same directory. So whatever directory you have this in, you'll be able to find it. And I just basically got ChatGPT to generate this for me. And then this is all the possible values you can have for the different percent completion. So yeah. And then doors open. So like when you go to each episode in game, like for the first time when you unlocked that episode, the doors will open. And then when the game saves, it writes to an address in the save file where it's like, this door has been opened. So, the door will stay open for the remainder of the existence of the save file. And then there's also Jabba's door, which will unlock after story mode's been completed, and the value of 1 must be present at address 03. And then level status, so there's a lot more than the previous game. So yeah, you've got story unlock, free play unlocks, story stud meter filled, free play stud meter filled, and then name a mini kit. And yes, when you build a mini kit, the first time you build a mini kit in the save file, when you collect all 10 canisters to a level, and you have the mini kit built, you will then be able to use that mini kit in the mini kit bonuses in each episode. And yeah, if the if the value of that mini kit is present in the save file, you will be able to use that mini kit. Even if like you manually set that mini kit has been built, regardless of the canister count or what canisters have been marked as collected in the level, you can use that mini kit in mini kit bonus. You also have the canister count, you also have the red brick, and then there's also the time trial time, which is a 2 byte value, which it's nowhere present in the game, but it's in the save file, which I think it's a likely a scrapped feature that's still present in the game's code. And yeah, there's a complex algorithm to it, which I did not I forgot to write down, and it is pretty complex. Yeah, and then you've got your bonus levels. And this is only for Lego City here. And then best time is a 4 byte dynamic value, which there's a lot more dynamic values than static values. And what I mean by dynamic is like, it's not like, even though like say a certain stud amount, like let's say 100,000 studs, even though that's a fixed amount, it's because the stud value is not a fixed amount as like say unlocking a level sort of thing. And it's changing a lot more as well. And yeah, it changes a lot more, yeah. And then, high score for Super Story, only Super Story. Yeah, so the highest amount of studs collected while playing the respective story mode. And then there's the completed. There is a bug with character and mini kit bonuses, like because where I assume it should be, there's a bit of a bug when you complete any bonus in that level that they become one as well. So yeah. And then there's the time played, which does not really affect the game's progression, but every time you're in an episode, there's a 4 byte value to each episode where it adds the time you've been playing, not including the cutscenes. There's also bounty hunter missions, which there's 10 of them, and each mission has an address of its own, and it's got 0 or 1 whether it's completed or not. And then this is basically just every level, and where each of its attributes, each of its status attributes live. And yeah, basically just apply that information with what I said with level status here. So there's the Empire Strikes Back, there's Return of the Jedi, there's bounty hunter missions, Lego City. So yeah, 10 missions, each one's address. In-game hands, it's an 8 byte value, although there are a couple of bytes it doesn't write to. And same as the previous game, once that hint displays, it doesn't display again on that save file. And then this is each hint and its address. And then this is all the hints you can buy in shop, which is a 2 byte value. And then the build bonuses. So when you build the bonus doors for each episode, level city, and the stud generator, when you get enough gold bricks, it stores that in a memory address. So it knows that it's been built and it can display. And then canisters. One quick thing I want to point out that I did not point out in my previous video. Um, I know some people will refer to these as mini kits. I mean, I refer to them as canisters because that's how I always referred to them growing up after, like knowing, that was a name that was used when I was growing up. Like, before I was calling them canisters, I was literally calling them by the sound they made when playing Lego Star Wars, the video game, on a PlayStation 2 at one school I went to, which was the very first time I got into Star Wars. But yeah, we just used to call them by the sound they made. And then, eventually when I was playing the complete saga on an Xbox 360 I had at my house at the time, my dad was calling them canisters, and that name just stuck. And even though I do hear a lot of people on the internet calling them mini kits, like the reason why I've never changed is because, well, apart from the fact that I'm used to calling them canisters, it's more like the way I see it is like the canisters is what you collect to build the mini kits. Like, and I also know like you've got the extra of the game calling it mini kits, say as with like the mini kit detector. But yeah, and then there's also in the manuals I have with Lego Star Wars, the video game Lego Star Wars 2, one refers to as a Lego canister, one refers to a canister mini kit, but yeah, I call them canisters. So yeah, there's a link to the playlist I made on the canister videos, which at the time of recording yesterday was the day that Return of the Jedi canister videos went up. So yeah, and then there's just a picture of each canister, and I made sure to leave enough detail in them for you to know which canister it is. And there's also that canister folder I have as well, which is the uncropped variants. So yeah, just whichever canister you want to play around with, just yeah, do that. And it's also nice to know which canister's which. So yeah, got all that information. Um, yeah, characters and vehicles, like they are stored. They are stored in the same address range, and yeah, characters and vehicles just mix with all that. Um, yeah, and there's yeah, like there's the unlocked value, there's the bought value, there's the cheap value, and in this game, it is a bit strange to see the cheat value being used like on every single character and vehicle, and like even Princess Leia and Captain Antilles have their own cheat value as well. I guess that's just how it is. And then I have taken a bit of a look at the complete saga save file, and it's a bit different. And every character has their own memory address, and one's for unlocked and two's for like the cheat code used. But yeah, I'll talk more about that if I get there. So yeah, you know, um, yeah, if you want to find a particular character, what I recommend is just doing Control F, searching for the character and stuff. So yeah, got it all displayed neatly. So yeah. Oh, and the value for their value is the same in both addresses for their unlocked address and cheat code address. So yeah, just use that value on either one, however you want to play the game. After you've completed it once fully. So yeah, that's just every character there. And then the custom character, oh yeah, even the custom character has their own slot as well. Yeah, two attributes. It's got parts, and then it's got name as well. So yeah, so this is the address for each both custom character parts. So yeah, so each part, like, so this is character one's address for their hair or hat, and then this is the address for character two with their hair or hat, and then these are the values. These are the values for each piece, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, and yeah, that is the way I spell color. So you Americans don't get picky with me. And then the name is stored in 15-byte value, and it's in ASCII, which you'll clearly be able to see when in the save file, because Hexedit shows the ASCII, and that's the name for character one. And then this is the extra. You've got like your unlocked values and your cheat values, which yeah, they both come on at the same time. So yeah, that's just yeah, and then so the address on the left is the normal, and then the address on the right is the cheat value. So yeah, that's a brief rundown of the guide, and you can have a detailed read of it. Um, yeah, and then there's also the PDF for those who prefer, which yeah, I'm going to need to fix this up, which I promise you that I will fix that up before the video goes out, so you can download a proper version. Okay, so let's get into I'll probably still keep this open. Um, okay, so let me just uh, okay, so what do I want? Yeah, I'll just give myself 100,000 studs, which a good way for that is to open the calculator and then just type in decimal 100,000 and then reverse this number. So I usually don't run AM AEST like this, but I'm just going to show. So 00, 0A86, and then 01. So that's the new stud value. Okay, now what I just will change that to 00, and you can figure out what character that is. Let's say I want Anakin Skywalker Ghost. Let me search for that. So here's unlocked. I'll also do the port address. So 314. So 314 and 4. So I'll need to change that as well. 314, and then his value is 02. So 02. And then his unlocked address is 350 hexadecimal address 353. So 353. And then I believe, yep, that's here. So then his value is 20. So let's put in 20. So he will be present in the save file. And for the most part, this is an empty one, the one that I play around with. Now where's the oh, there we go. Okay, so let me just put in all the open doored values. So that's if, so all the doors will be open. Okay, so what else do I want to add in? Okay, let's just say I have 10 gold bricks. So that would be 0A. And then let's say I've collected the canister 1 in secret plans. So I'll just put in 01. And then I also want to reflect that count as well. So I'll put in 01. And then story stud meter is filled. Yep, that will be okay. What else do I want to add? That is the character. Let's just change the name for the sake of it. So yeah, we'll just use that name for character 1. Okay. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. So what to do now is like I'm definitely not going to be able to calculate all that. Yeah, this is just some other leftover things I had from editing this. So just take the save file, just put it on the checksum updater program from Polly the Pancake. I've made my custom one, and I have made a few changes since the last video. It was only like yesterday or the day before. I now get a little Indian value, so it's like easy to tell, like, because that's what we're editing it in. And then I also do still see the decimal value that was shown before. So yeah. Usually you would get a confirmation to reload, but apparently I'm still using an old version. Okay, now let's go in game, and I'll grab my controller that perfectly sits under my Samsung monitor, launch the game, turn on my controller, and I'll probably get that Microsoft Family Safety. Looks like I'm not, probably because, oh, no, there it is. But yeah, so we'll just load save file 3, and I'll show you all the changes. Hopefully this doesn't freeze up. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm able to do these kind of recordings in 60 frames per second, but then when I'm doing like a long play of the game, I can't. Because when I'm doing a cutscene, the audio doesn't sync. So yeah, Anakin Skywalker Ghost. So we added his shop value that he's been bought. And then we also changed that, as it didn't update the name, probably, I'm guessing it didn't like the name, maybe because of the exclamation mark. But yeah. Oh, and it looks like, again, I put in 100,000 studs the wrong way. Well, I've explained it on the guide. So yeah, let's just go into this level. And you can see Anakin Skywalker Force Ghost is unlocked. Then just start the level. And build all this, and yep, all the int come up because the value for them is 0. Yeah, so there's a lot of endless possibilities you can do. And one thing I didn't mention, forgot to mention in the last video, and only touched on in the description. And oh, why is that canister still there? I thought I got rid of it. Okay. Might have not written in the correct address then. Okay. Apparently I did not write there at all. Yeah. So let's just close that. Just exit, and it looks like the count did update to 1. So yeah. Yeah. One of the things I only touched on in the description last video is how you could probably do a free play challenge where you can do like only certain characters only. And there was someone, I think it's Woods or something, that did a challenge. Can you beat the complete saga with droids only? So yeah. So this is what I want to change, and that will be easy to work out. That's checksum there. Okay, so let me actually get 100,000 studs correct this time. So 0A0. Oh yeah, and unlike the other game, I can keep this one open. It's not going to crash when I go to open it. 8601. So how's that not 100,000 studs? Like, because I literally reversed this, or actually, or is it actually 0A860100? And if so, I will update that on the file, the Word document, because I definitely want to have it right. Okay, loading. Yep, confirm, getting loaded. Okay, I hope this time actually put in the correct stud value. So pause the game. Oh, that's pretty close. Must be a calculation wrong somewhere, but okay, I'll do more work before this video goes up to get that correct, and hopefully I've also made it correct with the canister now. So yeah. Also, do gotta work out the storage of my external hard drive, because my 5 terabyte drive's only got like 500, well, somewhere between 500 to 600 gigs left now, and yeah, it's not going to be optimal, and all the videos I've done for YouTube so far have taken up a terabyte. Oh yeah, the canister's gone, so looks like that time it was correct. So let's just exit. Okay, so quit, yes. Okay, now how have I gone wrong? So 0, A. Oh, it's because I need to do it as A0. Let's try that. Hopefully that is correct this time. Okay, so put the game, play game. Yeah, it looks like I got A and 0 switched around in the byte. Whoops. Okay, now I hope this time it's 100,000 studs. Okay, yes, I've done that right. Okay, so use it to Windows. Put that controller back. Okay, so now that that is correct, I'm gonna copy that. Go to the word document. I won't need calculator anymore. And then paste it like that. Yeah, and I'll do that to show it as a 4-byte value, and then it will make it more understandable how you're reversing that. So yeah, let's update the GitHub. So publish, yes. Won't need this anymore. Yes, I'm sure I want to exit. Yes. I'll also close Steam. What's Word doing? Okay. Okay. And yeah, I don't have that, so this will be minimize, close, save. Oh, and it'll take a while to upload. Okay, so I need that, I need that. Okay, so I'm gonna package all this again. 7-zip, add to archive. Where was to the original Trilogy. Save file editing 0.2. What did I call it? Guide. Guide. Okay. Gotta wait for that to compress. Because it's gonna compress all that as well. Yeah. Yeah. Please give me feedback on all this stuff. And please go check out the previous video on save file editing where Star Wars the video game. Yeah, and then also if you have feedback on that one, please do give me feedback. And yeah, Um, Let me know if you want to see me do Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga first, or you want me to move straight on to Lego Indiana Jones because you've seen a lot of Lego Star Wars and you'd basically be seeing the same thing with The Complete Saga. But yeah, let me know. And if you want me to play the Wii versions of those games, I can do that. I've got a copy of those games on the Wii. So yeah, and I haven't played Lego Indiana Jones on the Wii yet since I got it, but it is nice to have because I do want to avoid getting more games on Steam or digitally. I want to have the physical product, so I don't have any of those DRM digital protections, and it's on the disc instead. Which, I mean, I did not use the disc this time to play the game when recording this video because since it wasn't a long play, I didn't really need the disc. But when playing for the videos, I do use the disc for that because it's a long play and I do like to make it look a bit more genuine. Okay, so I'm making a new version on GitHub. So I'll just paste the path and then just get rid of all that. Spelled editing wrong. Fix that on the zip file so you don't get a hypo when downloading it. I don't know why I always put editing with two Ds. Okay, so back here, removed cover art picture in the wrong spot. Right, and updated 100,000 to the correct literal in the end value. And take this, set it as pre-release, and yeah, I'll have that published, but I'm not gonna have you sit here through all that uploading time because it did take a while for it to upload when I was uploading it last night. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give me feedback. I would like to know how you think I'm doing, and I do want to know yeah, well, I mean, if, like, I do want to improve. I want to improve using feedback, but I mean, definitely don't be so condemning or aggressive about it. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.